Happy Wednesday and welcome to eXp Weekly Live in Nashville with the amazing Burnett Group, Matt and Marty Burnett, as always bringing us great content, information, resources, guests, and everything right here live every Wednesday at noon Central Time. Today we get both Matt and Marty, and we are going to talk about all the summer buyers, everybody coming to visit Nashville. Nashville is a hotspot, one of the top best places to visit in the country right now on current lists that I've been seeing. And so with that, people are coming in and saying, wow, they fall in love with it. They want to buy. So Matt and Marty, great to see you guys as always. Let's talk about those summer out of town buyers.
Hey, Amy. Yeah, it's crazy here in Nashville right now. People everywhere.
I know people like me coming in and falling in love with it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
We talk to out of town buyers every day, it seems like. So very crazy.
Let's walk that process. You guys are you already have your regular full business with all the building projects you guys have, the home staging, the buyers, the listings, plus a full family. Now you add this busy season with out of town buyers. Let's talk about what they're looking for and what you guys need to be as a resource as realtors.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for the out of state buyers or even out of town, like just in different parts of Tennessee, come in this direction, they just need to get with an agent that is going to educate them. You know, a lot of people want to, I'm coming in next week. I want to see 10 properties, that sort of thing. And used to, you could throw that together. That's just not happening right now. The market is just moving too quickly. So I've talked to two this week that are looking to come this direction. And I mean, you just have to be really, really honest with them, because otherwise you're going to waste their time and yours and everybody else's too. But it's it's expensive and it's a long trip to come from out of town. So what I'm doing is a lot of educating right now.
So Matt, what do you advise as far as educating and really working with these out of town buyers? Because yes, showing them a bunch of properties and doing all of that just is not viable in today's market, or really the best, highest and use of your time. What are things that they can do before they even come to town if they're thinking about, wanting to look at properties while they're visiting any city?
Well, once they get prepared and understand the market and what they're doing, then the fastest way is really to do some sort of a virtual showing because the properties are moving so fast. If something hits the market today at lunchtime, if it's a good property, they're going to be stacked up all afternoon with showings. So if you live, even if you're working across town and can't get off till 6 o'clock, it may be a Zoom showing or virtual showing may be the best option to get in and check it out. Immediately, because they are going so fast.
Yeah, the days of a house hitting the market and then you saying, oh yeah, I'm going to come in next Thursday and take a look at that. I mean, it's gone. It's gone by next Thursday. So we're just having to shift around and offer them other options. So, again, we're educating them on the market. Once they understand that, then we're being able to shift. It is good for them to come in town and spend some time. But I mean, there may be a property or two for them to see, but the list they put together before they come, they're gone when they get here. And so that can be frustrating. But I think just setting an expectation for our out of town and out of state buyers is huge, because you don't want them to get frustrated with the process, because the process it can be stressful and frustrating anyway. So the planning, the educating is really important. And technology has allowed us to shift around and offer new opportunities. We had several clients that come in from out of state. They come in, they visit. We don't find the dream house while they're here, but we've gotten to know each other. We've gotten to walk through a few properties with them, so we know what they're looking for. And so, as Matt said, then we're looking at doing virtual showings. Mm-hmm. And that's not just for clients that are out of state. Like, again, if they're just across town and a house hits the market, instead of taking an hour off of work, we run over and do a quick virtual showing that we figure out if it works or if it doesn't. And the funny thing about the virtual showings is, at first that makes people really, really nervous. But most of my clients, after they've walked through properties and then done the virtual, I've had several of them say, I feel like I look at the property closer through the virtual showing. Like me physically going through with either Zoom or FaceTime, walking through and pointing out everything about the property. So, I mean, honestly, the virtual option is working out really well right now.
I think that's great that you put that out, because people might still be on the fence thinking, yeah, but can I really build a home virtual? And is that really going to show me what I want? A lot of people are really set in the days of just, you have to physically go see the property. And I love that you just pointed out that you've got great responses of people saying, wow, I really felt connected. I feel like I saw more. And I hope that that really encourages more people to take this seriously, that these virtual tours can be really a fantastic way of getting a feel for the property so they can act quickly. I was curious as well. No, sorry, go ahead, Matt.
I just thought of something, several times you walk through a property and you leave and you wonder, you know what, did that thing have how big was the master bedroom closet? Or how big was the bathroom? Or did it have a this or that? You can always go back and look at the video that you just were on and you can see that. So that's pretty helpful as well.
You get that instant replay.
Right.
As professionals, for you guys, with the schedule that you keep and also advising even other professionals, how do you guys vet or even know, are these serious buyers? How do you guys, take every call and especially with out of towners coming in so much for the summer season? How do you really know, okay, that they're serious and this is how we really advise them versus, hey, maybe they're not quite ready and you can give them other tools to help them get ready? How do you guys vet that to really manage everything that you do?
Well, I think it's important to spend time talking with them. I had a conversation the other night with a guy moving his family into town. And, the idea he had, the plan that they had put together was not going to work. I mean, and I just told him, I'm really, really honest with them. I'm like, look, you're setting yourself up for failure with this plan because our market is not leaning in the direction that you're going to want to go. So we just talk about it and, always pre-approval. And a big thing with out-of-state buyers is, a lot of times they come in and they're pre-approved with their lenders at home. Guys, in this market, you need a local lender, somebody that is familiar with our market here. Your lender out of Southern California, they're probably great in Southern California, but not here in Nashville. And I don't mean that in any disrespect to any out-of-state lenders, but it's important to be prepared. Our market is moving at such a pace that if you don't have all your T's crossed and all your I's dotted, you are going to have a very difficult time putting a house under contract and getting it to the closing table because these sellers are not being tolerable of any kind of delays or shifts or changes as they were in more of a balanced market because they don't have to be. So being prepared, and telling the buyers, this is what houses are bringing over market. This is what people are doing to get them. Are you willing to make these type of decisions this quickly to get your house here, your dream house here? And if the answer is no, then I tell them you need to get here and you need to rent. You need to rent for as long as you can get comfortable. Because and I said this exact same thing to the guy I was talking to the other night. I was like, the worst thing you could do is jump into a property that later you regret. I was like, that's a really expensive mistake to make. I would rather you get here. And look, I was like, and I'm the salesperson here, I would rather you get here, get settled, and then let's find you a house, even if it's 6 months from now. Or I said, I'm still going to be doing this, but I don't want to see you. It's no fun to see you settle for a house that will work, And so that's been my advice to everybody coming into town.
That is really solid advice. I love that you pointed out, use the local professionals because you're right. These markets are so hot. There's so much going on and so many intricate pieces to it that you don't want something falling through the cracks. And I'm sure that every seller, has a no shenanigans, no nonsense policy. So I like that you're letting people know it is worth making sure that you plug in with all of the best professionals in that local market, which is why you guys are such great experts to advise people, because I know you have every resource that a buyer from out of town could possibly need to make sure that they have the right tools and the right professionals for that transaction right there in Nashville, don't you?
Oh yeah. And we try and it's funny because I've been talking to other agents and there are, with the massive amount of out-of-state people that are coming into town, a lot of the sellers are starting to see, we're getting multiple offers on things, out-of-state buyers coming in and making offers and then they're not getting to the closing table. And so things are going back on the market. So for a seller, it can be kind of a disaster if your agent is not savvy enough to vet these other agents out and really do the due diligence. You get 10 offers. It's not always about the highest one or whatever. You got to look at who the lender is. You've got to look at Have they seen the house? Did they do a virtual showing? Have they physically been there? All these things are super important for the sellers as well. So we're seeing, and I'm talking to other agents, about some of the out-of-state buyers, they're locking properties up because they've not been educated on how this works, and their agents, just running around making offers, and they're locking these properties up, and then they're falling through for one reason or another. And then the properties are back on the market, and you're back, spinning your wheels again with several more offers, picking who to work with, that sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah, unfortunately, when these markets get crazy, you get a lot of fraud out there. We've seen some fraud. People offering cash to get the house and not having the cash to buy the house.
Wow.
I mean, that sounds so crazy, but it happens
Awful.
all the time. Why would you offer on a house cash and you don't have the cash? Like, what do you get out of that? I have no idea, but it's happening. So buyers and sellers both need to be aware of what's happening with out-of-state buyers and that sort of thing. And they need to be connected with a local professional, somebody that knows what they're doing, that can really make for a successful transaction. Buyers don't like for the transactions to fall through either. So, if they're well educated and well versed on the market and have a good agent, they can get a house, but it's going to take some time and patience. Because that's an expensive mistake to buy something you regret later.
Huge expensive mistake to make. It's not worth it. Trust the professionals. Reach out to Matt and Marty. They are truly the top professionals there in the Nashville market, and they can make sure that you don't have any of these mistakes or pitfalls happen. Matt, any last advice for those out-of-towners coming in this summer?
No, just make yourself aware of what's going on and contact us. We'll be happy to help any way we can.
I just love you guys. What I appreciate and respect the most is you guys really do what's best for every individual. Marty, I love that you pointed out that you might say, hey, I don't want you to buy now. I need you to get here and get settled in first. You guys really are just that first-class top professional looking at the whole picture, not just, your own business, but what's best for every client that you work with. You guys are just the tops, and I respect you so much, and that's why I love doing this with you every week. Thank you again for another great amount of information and incredible advice you've just given to everybody. Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Amy.